How does the recovery under Ronald Reagan compare to the recovery under President Obama? Oh, it's not even close. Look at this, please. The economy has grown at an average annual rate of 1.8% since President Obama took office. That is exactly half the growth rate under Ronald Reagan. Come on in, Lisa Booth in Washington, former GOP and the senior director at the BlackRock.
Hi, Stuart.
Lisa, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this out here. It's not always easy. Look, to me, this is all about policy. President Reagan had a totally different policy from President Obama with a totally different set of results. Am I being too simplistic?
No, it is that simplistic, and you're absolutely right. Look, the differences between President Reagan's economic policies and President Obama's are as different as night and day. You know, President Reagan pushed policies that were of tax cuts, of reduced spending, of deregulation, and President Obama's pushed policies of increased spending, increased taxes, and over-regulation. And as a result, what we've seen is that the economic growth under President Obama has been the lowest since World War II under any president. We've seen an anemic economic growth under President Obama of about 9.6%. It was more than double that under Reagan.
But, you know, the left is ignoring the whole idea of growth as a liberator and an inspiration to America's middle class. They're ignoring that. They're saying, no. Inequality is very, very important and absolutely wrong. And we must stop this inequality from growing. Therefore, we must stay with President Obama's policies of taxing the rich and redistributing the wealth. I mean, you know, they're onto a political winner at this point.
But look, the problem where Democrats' argument with income inequality falls flat is the problem if you look at middle-class families. They've suffered the most under President Obama. We've seen jobs added to the top and bottom of the wage scale, but it's middle-class families, their job prospects that have diminished. Middle-class families are earning less than they did before President Obama took office. So it's very difficult for Democrats to try to drive those messages when the results aren't there for them. Those numbers aren't there for them. If you look at food stamps, they've increased by 45% under President Obama. You know, home ownership is at it's been since in 20 years. The workforce participation rate is at the lowest it's been since the Carter years.
Okay, but you've got to give me your honest opinion here. Do you think that we're likely to see a return to Reaganomics? That is much less regulation, much lower tax rates for individuals and corporations. Honestly, do you see that happening?
Stuart, I think it depends on who is the president. You know, who wins the presidency for 2016. I think if it's someone like Hillary Clinton, we're going to see another 4 years of these policies where, you know, quite frankly, every American has suffered under President Obama.
In which case, Lisa, the left has won. Because if the situation is as dire, and it is, as you've just described it, and we vote for more of the same, then the left has won. Redistribution has won.
And that's a scary thing, Stuart. And, you know, that is something that I'm truly afraid of because I don't think our economy can stand another 4 years of President Obama's policies. You know, the bailouts haven't worked. This over-regulation hasn't worked. President Obama stood in the way of economic growth. You know, we've seen this regulation just you look at energy, for example. You know, President Obama stood in the way of economic growth on every way.
I think we need somebody out front who is pounding the table for prosperity for all. That's what I want to see. Get this great engine of growth going. I know we're in agreement on this, Lisa. You can come back anytime you like. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Stuart.
Lisa Booth, everyone. Now this.